Since the release of ChatGPT, AI chatbots have been popping up everywhere, but they're not all created equal. Some of them are pretty dumb and you can tell that they're bots, while others are super sophisticated. They use the data on your store and they can communicate with your customers just the same as a human. In this video, I want to show you 3 different chatbots that you can install right now onto your Shopify store, starting from a free basic version through to an advanced super bot that can pretend to be you and take over all your customer service inquiries. Of course, these chatbots though are only as good as the people that use it and the data that you put into it. It's a bit like owning a Lamborghini. There's no point having a car like that if you don't know how to drive it. It's the same with a chatbot. If you've got a Lamborghini chatbot, you're going to want to know how to drive it and get the most from it. So I'm going to show you a super simple framework that I've developed and the same one that I teach in my e-commerce bootcamp academy that helps you set up these super chatbots the right way, which means that you don't need to be answering customer questions at all times of the day. You can just set it up using this framework, and it's not only going to answer your customers' questions, but it's going to help you get more sales on your store. When you're trying to grow an e-commerce store, you are pretty much everything. You're the person that does the marketing, you're the person that does the operations, you're the person that does the customer service. Now, this is where AI can really help us. It can help us with the tasks that we have to do time and time again. It can take those tasks away from us and do them for us so we can focus on the things that generate income. Or you could just spend time on the beach sipping pina coladas, driving your Lamborghini, or spending time with friends and family. If this is the first time that we're meeting and the first time you're watching one of my videos, my name is Brendan Gillen and I created this channel to help e-commerce entrepreneurs start, grow, and scale their e-commerce businesses. I've been around for about 15 years in e-commerce. I run my own 7-figure Shopify stores. I've worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, and I now teach people on how they can do the same on their stores. But if you just want to follow videos like this, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and I'm going to be putting ones out like this all the time. You would have seen on some of the large e-commerce businesses that they have a little live chat icon in the bottom of the screen that pops up and asks if you want any help. Usually on the other end of this is a human, or sometimes a little basic bot that sits in the background. Now, if it's a human, it can be really helpful, and it means that you can interact directly with your customers or directly with the brand, and they can encourage you to buy things. Now, if it's a bot, it tends to be pretty basic and only have a few questions in there and doesn't really help you all that much in terms of buying something, but it might help you with support. In this video, I'm going to refer to those as chatbots. I really love the idea of having a chatbot on your store. Studies have shown that if you do have a chatbot and you can support a customer in real time and help them with their purchase, you're going to increase your conversion rates. Without a chatbot, the conversion rates can come down. It's a bit like when you walk into a retail store, you talk to someone and they help you make the sale. That's where these chatbots and live chat come in. You can actually help a visitor get to the checkout by providing them information on products, providing information on your services, pricing, giving them a discount code. This is where talking to your customers while online is super powerful. The problem in the past has been you've needed to have a human at the end of the chat, which means you need to be online at all times because people are shopping on your store 24/7. No longer is it 9 to 5 when the shops are open, your shop is always open. And it becomes a challenge because we can't afford to have someone sitting at the end of live chat if there's no one chatting. So that's where these AI chatbots come in and really ramping up the way you set up your chatbots so that they can help the person even if there's no human there. So this is why having a chatbot on your store is going to be powerful. Not only will it support your customers, but it's going to help increase your conversion rate and get more sales. So these are the 3 chatbots that I recommend. We're going to start from free all the way to paid so that you can get a good understanding of the different options that you have. I'm going to take you through the pros of them and the cons of them so you can decide which one is right for your business. Now, the first one is called Shopify Inbox. Now, this one comes free with Shopify and anyone can use it, and it's actually not that bad. Why I like this one is it obviously integrates really easily because it's been built for Shopify. It also has an app that you can use on your phone. So if you did want to be a human at the end as well as using the AI, you can be chatting to them on your phone. So you don't need to be sitting at a computer doing your customer service. You could be on the beach drinking those pina coladas and doing customer service at the same time and making sales. I've personally done this a couple of times, not necessarily drinking pina coladas, but I've grabbed a message that's on my phone from a customer who had an inquiry about a product. I chatted back to them and I was able to make the sale there on the spot. I think the last one I made was like a $575 sale on a Saturday morning. So if I hadn't have opened up that chat on my phone and had that conversation with the customer, I would have lost out on that sale. The other cool thing about Shopify Inbox is because it's so tightly integrated, it links into who your customers are and the orders that they are placed, which means you don't have to jump into Shopify, look up the customer, look up the order, and then go back and tell them in the chat. It links to all their orders, links to their tracking numbers. They can actually self-serve. They can ask, where's my order? And the bot's gonna come back and tell them exactly where their order is and give them a tracking number. One of the things I really like about Shopify Inbox is the instant answers. So we've got this section here, and this is where we can fill out the instant answers. So here's a few manual ones that we've put in recently. Where do our orders ship from? Where do you get such good prices? Track my order. Now these are really good because these are the typical frequently asked questions that people might ask in a chat. So if we can answer them before they ask them, then we're servicing them super quick and it can help them make a decision. Now Shopify has just actually put in this new feature, which is using AI. And this is really cool because what it actually does is it looks up your store and determines the types of questions that people might have. So what you can do here is just have a look and go, which ones of these might be useful? And these ones are really specific to my store. Are your gloves suitable for beginners? Let me click that and have a look. So yeah, it's made this answer for me by generated content, and it says, yes, we do offer gloves that are suitable for beginners. We have options with extra padding, wrist support to ensure safety during training. Now it's taken this information from a blog page that I have on my store. So because Shopify knows all this data, it can put it in there and actually create the answers for you. It's pretty neat. This is where AI is super powerful. So if I wanted to add that in as an instant answer, I'll just double check that's right. And this one looks like it's pretty good. I just click save and we'll go back to instant answers. And we can now see that has been added as an instant answer directly in there. Now it's said it's turned off, so we just turn that on. And we can see here in the live chat that people can just click directly in here to get the answer that they want without having to ask or interact with a human being. This is also quite cool. We can change the colors. We can change whether it's a chat bubble, email, handwave, anything like that. We can determine where we want it to be, left or right. We can basically do anything we want with it to make it look really good. Now there are some drawbacks with Shopify Inbox. Firstly, it doesn't connect to any social platforms, which means if someone sends you a DM or a message from Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or anywhere like that, it's not going to come into here and you're going to have to answer them there. Even though you can change the colors of the bubbles and things, you can't really customize it past what it looks like now. So it looks pretty much like everyone else's chat box. But the good thing is it's super easy to install, and all you have to do is go to the Shopify App Store and click install. Now the second one I recommend is called Gorgeous. I've got a link down below if you want to install Gorgeous. It's a pretty cool tool. It's not just a chat app. It's actually an all-in-one customer service platform. So it takes things from emails, it takes things from Messenger, it takes things from your DMs, it even gets SMSs in there. And why I love this, it means that no matter where a customer contacts you, it can come all into this single spot so that you don't need to be jumping in between all different platforms to answer customers. And sometimes you might answer a customer on email, then you have to answer them in DM, and then you have to answer them in a chat. So what Gorgeous does is it brings it in all together. Now Gorgeous also has lots of automations, which means that you don't need to be continually replying and saying the same thing 100 times over. It has these things that are called macros, and these are predefined responses to questions that people have. So we've got a generic, how can I help? We've added all these ones in ourselves, like whether the order hasn't been found or hasn't been shipped, or it has been shipped. We're going to have even questions like if something might be out of stock, who the supplier is, whether there's any delays, or if people are asking for sponsorship. So basically we've built out all these macros here so that we make it easier to respond to people. As an example, if we jump into this sponsorship one, if someone sends us a message about wanting us to sponsor them, we've actually got a predefined response here, okay? And that means that my customer service team or myself doesn't need to write this 5 or 10 times a week. They can just go in there, click the macro, and it responds. The other cool thing about Gorgeous is it also tightly integrates into Shopify. So if we have a look at this macro here, if someone sends us a message and asks whether or not the order has shipped, we can reply to them automatically with all the information about that order in there. So this is saying, hello customer name, thanks for reaching out. Your order has been shipped, and here's the information below. And what it does is it brings in the number of the last order, so it gives them the order number, and it also gives them their tracking number. The cool thing about this is we don't then have to go into Shopify, find the tracking number, paste it in, and rewrite this email every time. Gorgeous will do that for you. Now that's from a messaging perspective. What about their live chat features? They have pretty much all the same settings as Shopify Inbox, just a little bit more customization. So we've still got quick replies. We can change the look and feel of it with a little bit more detail. We can change the intro messaging. We can put logos and everything in there. We can do different avatars. We can even put a picture of the person that's behind the chat so we can make it more human. So just like we saw on Shopify inbox, we can create all these quick replies that we have here. We can also add certain flows, and this is where we can build out certain things to happen when someone asks a question and have it all automated. So we can have the bot here interacting with the customer that has a query. And again, it just takes away the need for a human to be there and repeating themselves hundreds of times. Now, there are some negatives with Gorgias that I just want to point out. The app that comes on the phone is pretty terrible and it's almost unusable. So I wouldn't recommend Gorgias if you want to use the app most of the time. There's no real AI built into this. There's automations and flows, but they all need to be set up manually. You need to do that yourself, and it doesn't have any machine learning in the background. They may have that in the future, but at the time of this video, they haven't got it. The other thing is, it is a little bit more expensive. Obviously, the other ones are free. This one is a little bit more expensive, but it's an all-round customer service platform. If you wanted to give it a try, I have got a demo link down below. Check out the demo, give it a shot, and see whether or not it's suitable for you. Now, I've definitely saved the best to last. This one is called Tidio. And what I mean by the best is this has like a crazy AI feature built in that I just haven't seen before. And I'm super pumped that software is doing this sort of stuff now. Now, Tidio is a little bit different to Gorgias. It's a dedicated live chat app. That's all it does is live chat and allows you to talk to your customers in real time, or uses the AI to talk to your customers. The cool thing about Tidio, because it is a dedicated live chat app, it gives you a lot more customization. So we can see here, we can change anything about this. We can change the colors, we can change the logos, we can change the text. We can basically make it look anything like we like. We can basically make it integrate seamlessly with our store so it looks and feels on brand. It also has a mobile widget and pre-chat surveys, and it has all the rules and flows and everything that you see in Gorgias and Shopify. Now, it does integrate really nicely with Shopify, but not as well as some of the other ones. It can't pull in Shopify orders and it can't pull in customer information. This just sort of sits on top of your website and allows a way for you to communicate with your customers. One of the things I really dig about Tidio is the ability to create automations so that we can increase sales on your store. Now, it comes with a whole heap of pre-built automations that you can use. I'll take you through a few here. So we can see they've broken it up into increase sales and solve problems. So they're the two sort of main things that they want to do here. Now, let's just say we want to increase conversion. What we could basically do is click learn more here, and we could do something like a cart abandonment chat. So a lot of you might know about cart abandonment emails, but what about a cart abandonment chat? So let's just say someone's exiting your store, you pop up a little chat and you try and get them back in and convince them to buy from you. Tidio allows you to do that. So I'm gonna click cart abandon and I click use strategy. And now what it has done is it's starting to build this out for you. So you want to work through it here and make it sound like you. So we can have a little order message that pops up that says, order is almost complete. Can you tell us why you're abandoning the cart? And then we can send them a discount code if they're abandoning the cart. It's really, really cool. We can do other things like cart boosters. We can go through and do welcome messages. So basically the idea is using chat to engage with your customers. Let's activate these ones here. So now we've already got 3 of these activated super quick. Now that's not all, they've got other templates. So if we click in here, add from template, we can now see all the ones that are there. So one of my favorite ones is an upselling one. So if we click use template, we can click use template again. It's going to add this directly into the store. And what it's going to do is build out this flow here. And this flow is where the magic happens. It does it for you, so you don't need to worry about it. So what it does is once someone adds something to cart, it has this little decision maker here. And this one gives 2 options, and it pops up for the customer and says, do you want to know the secret that'll let you save on this order? And it'll be like, sure, no. This is called gamification, so it engages your customer really well. If they say no, we just say, no problem, enjoy the shopping. In case you need anything, you know where to find us, right? Nice little human interaction. If they say yes, we give them information about free shipping. Now, we could even put in here a little coupon code or some sort of booster to try and get them to convert on that sale. Now, that's all about sort of automations and flows and chat, but we haven't talked about the AI piece yet. Now, they have introduced a brand new feature, which is called Liro. And if we go over here and we click Liro, we can see there's this little AI module next to it. Now, I really like Liro because it does everything that my team has been trained on, but we've now trained the AI, everything they need to know about my store and my products. And the way we do that is we feed Liro with data. So you can see here, what I've done is I've actually loaded Liro up with my frequently asked questions. And the way you do that is just click open and you click import FAQ. And what we do here is we basically just paste a URL of our FAQ and it gets directly fed into Liro. Let's just say we're often getting questions about sizing. What we could do is import some information about our sizing guide so Liro knows how to answer the question. So I'm gonna go to my sizing guide here. And I'm going to go back to Liro. And if I click this here and then click import. Now what's happening here is this data is getting fed into the AI so it can learn about your store. So that when a customer comes to your store and they interact with Liro, Liro's going to know how to answer the question. So I'm going to ask Liro now a couple of questions. Do you sell boxing gloves? Liro's thinking. So confirmed, they do sell boxing gloves, and it's also given me the size. What size do you recommend for training? Okay, for training, I would recommend going with 16-ounce gloves. The heavier the padding will provide more protection. So this is awesome. Not only has it given the answer, it's given the reason why. Let's go a little bit further. How long does shipping take? Awesome, that's exactly right. Do you deliver to Sydney? Isn't that awesome? It is an AI that is talking to me and it actually sounds like a human. They're not pre-canned responses. They're written well. It's in our language. They're accurate. They're giving good information. And this is going to increase the sales of my store because they're answering them really, really well. It's wild, isn't it? Now you can see the power of these chatbots, but as I said earlier, they're only as good as the person that knows how to drive them. So what I've done is I've developed a chat mastery framework that I think is going to be perfect for you if you want to put chatbots on your store. I've linked it down below. It's a PDF. It's easy to follow. It's the exact same one that I use on my store and the exact same one that I teach in my e-commerce bootcamp. And speaking of which, if you're interested in joining the e-commerce bootcamp, there should be a link down below for you to join, and I'd love you to check it out. It's a really awesome program, and it's designed just for startup entrepreneurs or people who are starting their e-commerce journey that want to get to $1 million a year. And I'd love to have you as part of it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, comment down below on the types of videos you want to hear more about, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos because I know there's probably one there that's going to help you grow your e-commerce store.